Hey, hey, Gargoyle Nation! We are back with another live. Oh my god, the chat is busy today. What is up with that's a first. I will gladly take it. Oh my gosh. So, Kobolach, I know I'm mispronouncing that. James, Evanstar. Oh my gosh. I love this. Hey everyone! Oh, I'm so glad that I know it sucks to like wait for people in that sense of, you haven't, but I always set up that, like little buffer so that, people can get the YouTube channel going, go grab snacks and all that stuff, whatever, and then come back and I do the same thing. I rushed upstairs going, oh my god, I forgot my water. So, hey, Lost Toy Box! We have a busy chat today. This is amazing. I love this. So usually I give it a few minutes before I, start with anything, because usually, we need people to stroll on in. Oh, thank you, James. That's so sweet. Yeah, I figure 10 minutes is a good buffer time. It's not too long and it's not too short. Like 5 minutes and I'd be scrambling. 10 minutes is a nice little thing. Hey, Logan. So, if you've been keeping an eye on any of the, it's not really news, but if you have social media, if you've been keeping track of my social media, Iron Studios has put up the pre-order for Demona. And in case you didn't, this is a shot that we got from SDCC, which very nice, very pretty, all gorgeous, whatever. But then, they released new pictures and she's just to die for. Look at her. Like, dang. Oh, pretty. It makes me sad that I don't have the money for her. $300 is, I think it's probably 300 American. So it's a bigger ouch, probably around, I'm going to do my conversion rates wrong, but it's closer to 400 for me. Like the hair detail and oh my God, like, oops. Of course there was a boob shot. You can't do these things without a boob shot. Although this is a little irk of me. It's a beautiful job and nothing about it. I would have preferred to see like her wingtips sitting on her chest more than just that lift. That's just a me. That's me being nitpicky. It's still bloody gorgeous. And of course, it's the internet, so feet pics. This is how we do. But the stone detail, like, damn. They did a wonderful job right there. Although again, nitpicky because me, but it's probably a thing of they want to show the detail, so they're not being canon specific or keeping to canon, so her anklet is still gold where it should be stone, but again, that's me being nitpicky. Detail of the roof, and again, a little bit of the footstone right there, but very nice detail there. And for those who are wondering, of course, they at least put out the scale because people have been wondering how big these are and everything. So she's not tiny. So your $300 is going to a good chunk of sculpture on this. This is just, 11 and a half inches tall. So she not small. That's like, yeah, yeah. So definitely worth the $300. It's just $300. Not my guy said he'd buy her for me, but I can't comment when he buys a new graphics card. That's how it works. It's like, I'll buy you this very expensive thing. You can't say squat when I buy this very expensive thing. I think that's fair, Evanstar. I'm sorry, I think that's fair. If you end up with Demona, of course, then the question becomes, do you want this Demona or do you want Mondo's Demona if they do one? That's where it then becomes, oh, where do you drop that money? My favorite character from Gargoyles is Brooklyn because he's cool. That's what happened. Most of us watched when we were kids, and Goliath is a great character, but he's very much the parental figure. So it's unsurprising that a lot of kids went, yeah, but I prefer one of these three. So the trio and of course, it usually became Brooklyn because he was the cool one. I need a new Goliath and perhaps a Brooklyn figure. I would like statues, but I'm telling myself I'm not allowed to buy any new statues, as gorgeous as they are, even if I had the money for it. I am not allowed to buy new statues until I have my current ones out on display somewhere. That I hoard like you wouldn't believe. Not like what you see on hoarders, but I hoard stuff and then I keep it in box and then I put it away and then it stays there and I just keep amassing figures and stuff. So I figured, look, if I can't put it out on display, I should not be buying it. Or at least, you know, put out what I have first and then see if I still have space. That's how I control my spending too. I would love a Maggie the Cat figure. Ugh. Like, honestly, there's so many characters that should have figures. NECA, I'm hoping, had the plans to do that. But again, with the whole stuff with Diamond, we will wait and see what the heck NECA does, if anything. It's a wait and see. I'm not picky. Lex is the odd one out for me in terms of appeal. Lex doesn't seem to be a lot of people's favorite. I mean, I have favorites and then I have least favorites, but I all like them all, so that's more of a me. But yeah, Lex doesn't seem to be a fan favorite. I don't know if they didn't flesh him out enough, you know, during the show, and especially right now during, like, because I'm reviewing the comics, I can see how much, at least in the first, was it 13 issues, whatever, you can see how little so far Lexington is being used, but again, there's a certain story that's happening, so it's following that. And yeah, maybe if Lex got a little bit more essential airtime, sometimes usually that works. Dynamite Comic did a brilliant job on Gargoyles comic book series. That Dynamite's done a great job. Greg has been doing a great job. I cannot wait to see the storyline with the Fantastic Four, and then eventually Darkwing Duck. Like, is that why you didn't replace Potato Broadway with Potato Lex? No. Lexington is still hacking everyone's computers. He is busy at work. Broadway is there providing snacks. That's what Broadway is there for. If you need a snack, he's there to supply so far. Lex is busy hacking. Like, come on. This is how this works. The only thing with the comics is I wish they came out faster. I know they have their own schedules and, you know, the artists need this much time and the writers need this much time and the line artists and the colorists, like, I get all that. I just want it to come out faster because I like reading them faster. I don't like waiting, you know, at least like with Quest and Dark Ages and now Demona, they're all relatively short stories. So it's like, okay, you wait about, you know, a couple months and you'll have everything. The Here in Manhattan was taking forever. I think I just like, oh, comics out, to the shelf. I'm not reading it until the whole thing's out. So the shorter the series, the faster I get to read it. But it's just, I'm like, you know, just put them all out at once. I prefer that. Just, you know, tell the colorist, whatever, look, you have, you know, 3 times the amount of time, do it all, and then we just, there you go. That Gargoyles Fantastic Four comic cover is absolutely phenomenal. I love the artists. There's so many artists working on the covers. They're all a fantastic job. I think I have a few here saved somewhere. I really need to reorganize this whole thing. That's the Kickstarter. Like, these are just the Marvel ones, but absolutely beautiful. I should have done another panel like this for the Dynamite ones, but the Dynamite ones, for some reason, and maybe it's because they didn't do an official release of, hey, here are our covers. Even for the video that I did showing the covers from Dynamite, they're not high res. They are such low res, and I hated having to use them for my video. So at least the Marvel ones are high res, and you can see more detail. That's just a res thing, but the Dynamite ones are great too. Whoops. There we go. I'm glad that Brooklyn, he found his mate in ancient Japan. I like to see him. Like, I cannot wait. This is why it's like, as much as I, for one thing, always tell people, look, if you can't afford buying anything, please don't. I don't want anyone going broke, you know, to support, you know, a show that, you know, there's, you know, 500 more of us that can do it. But the more that we support the comics, the more likely we are going to get stories like Time Dancer happening. That's why I asked Greg when I got the chance to meet him in March to interview him, which again, thank you, Greg. Let's do it again in March. I specifically asked him, like, if this keeps going the way it does, will we eventually see a Time Dancer? And obviously it always depends on what gets approved. But it's the whole thing of, if Disney and company keep seeing the money rolling in, it's like, oh, you want to do another story? Yeah, sure, here you go. So I really want Time Dancer to be the next one. I hope it's not a short one, though, because, again, Brooklyn has done so much. But at the same time, it's balancing between how much do we tell, how much do we hide, that whole... Otherwise, do it like... if we were like repeating here in Manhattan, it's do that storyline, and then every now and then you have an issue where it's Brooklyn time dancing. That would be cool too, essentially, because 3 issues equals 1 episode here, like, kind of thing. So just, you know, an issue or 2, it's like, boom, there's, you know, half an episode, essentially. That would be Time Dancer. My comic shop added Gargoyles, Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four Gargoyles to my pull list. I assured them that we shouldn't be expecting a secret Fantastic Four Gargoyles issue. I still need to contact my comic shop about those issues. I'm just been dragging my feet. I've just been lazy. I just haven't done it. I'm going to, 100%. My whole thing stopping me right now is, do I do my usual multi-cover buy, or do I just stick to 1 cover per issue? I usually do multiples, but again, when money starts getting tight, I have to pull back. So I would love a novel. I need more story. I know. That's the thing. I just want story. The comic is fine, but they're too short. You get that burst of happy, and then you have to wait again. So that's another reason why I just read them all at once, because I get that little burst of happy for longer. Just keep that happy going. This is why I love reading novels, because I get that happy for hours. One day I will go to Scotland. There are so many places I would love to go. Whether I'm able to is a whole other story. Like, heck, just my cats themselves stop me from traveling most of the time. They're a disaster. Justice for Brooklyn. I vote minimum 12 issues of Time Dancer. You know what? I think that's a good number, because again, if you put it into 3 issues equals 1 episode, you know, 3, 6, 9, 12, that's about 4 episodes. I'd want it a little bit longer, because again, this is Brooklyn, and he traveled for 40 years. The amount of stories Greg probably has planned for this. And if we can't get a full Time Dancer series, just start sticking, you know, his storyline within another storyline. Like, here's a flashback, or here's something. Somehow just stick it in there. This is going to start sounding really wrong, but I'm just happy enough to just, yeah. Greg, I'm sure, has it figured out somehow how he wants to do it. I really want him to do that Macbeth story, that weird Macbeth story, because as much as I would prefer to have it animated so that we could hear, you know, Keith David and Marina and everybody just speaking Shakespearean, I will settle for a comic issue. I'll settle for it. It's fine. Brooklyn Sun Nashville is cool. And I like that. Oh, the Halloween special. That was adorable. And it's Nash. He goes by Nash. James, come on. He goes by Nash, not Nashville. I really need to know the Puck, Owen, Demona, and Xanto. See, that's the thing. There are so many bloody, and we only got like the tip of the iceberg with the SLG comics. And then you think, oh yeah, we got the tip of the iceberg with the SLG comics, and half the current fandom currently hasn't even read the SLG comics because once they were out of print, that was it. I'm hoping they were able to afford the re-release now with the Kickstarter, and you know, hopefully they can read up on that. I don't know if they're online somewhere if you search really hard. I didn't do that search, but yeah. Hey, Diego. Thank you. Greg Weisman is no stranger to novels. So, Matt, like this is my own just little, you know, detour. But literally, this happened earlier today. So I constantly put books on hold at the library just so I can just keep reading every so often, like during the week and everything. And so I'm almost done one. I had to pick one up early because I lost track of the hold date and it became available before I finished my current one. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have another 3. 2 of them were just, I paused the hold because they were later on in their series and like it's too early to read them. And the second book, the second book wasn't available. So the first and the third I just put on hold. And I was getting to the point of, you know what, I'm going to finish the 2 that I have. And then once the second novel gets close to me being at the front of the line, put that on another, you know, pause. I'll have the 3 on pause. And then I will go read Greg's novels because I have them. One I was able to pick up directly from him in March. And the other one I had a friend deliver when she came up to Toronto. Like, I finally have both of his novels. I can finally read them. I just had to finish my current ones. Today, I log into my library app and the first book is on its way to me. I'm just like, I have to do this all over again. I can't, like, it's on my way. It's on the way. If I cancel my spot in line, I have to put it on hold again and then wait again and restart this whole process. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to let this first one come to me. Get the second one will become available while I'm reading the first one, and then I can release the pause on the third one. Just need to knock those out of the way, and then I'll get to Greg's, because that'll be the end of the list of my holds. Ugh. The first world problems of a reader. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some time dancer stories as solo graphic novels. I would love that. Love it. Sometimes I wish I could just sit there and pick Greg's brain. It's like, this isn't gonna, you know, I won't make this public. I won't, like, just let me sit here and pick your brain. What do you want to do versus what, like, I just want to know what you want to do. I don't care what you're going to be told yes or no, whatever. Just how do you want to make this happen? That's it. My favorite Brooklyn episode is Kingdom. Yeah, that one's a good one. Mine's Temptation. Obvious. You have Brooklyn and Demona. It's kind of obvious. I did not know they existed until 4 years ago. I believe you can find the clan building online, but not bad guys. Yeah, see? That's the thing. It's some of it's available online, some of it wasn't. And if you manage to get your hands on the original prints, they're expensive as a heck. But yeah, so it's hopefully everyone was able to afford the Kickstarter, at least for the SLG. You know, I know getting the whole set would be, you know, ooh, awesome. But even for me, I just picked up the Marvel ones because I have the SLG and I have everything else. It was just the Marvel ones that I was missing. See, Matt, yes, it feels sad for me. My novel problems. Bad Guys is online, but I can't post the link. Search hard enough and you'll come across it. There you go, guys. It really does matter. Google is weird. Google has always been weird. Google's gotten worse over the years, but it's a lot of using not only the right keywords, but putting pluses and minuses in front of certain words and quotation marks. And it'll help you search it faster and get rid of all the junk out of the way. A lot of people never got taught that. So I know a lot of people know it. I am letting you know in case you don't. Oh no, Kobo, you fell behind. No. Yes, it is. Yes, Eric, it's yellow. Usually I don't wear yellow, but I like the top. So I figured, why not? You know, plus it slightly has sleeves. So if I get cold, at least I have some sort of sleeve. It's not as cold as it usually is down here. I got the trade paperback Clan Building 1 and 2 on eBay, but spent like $160. Ow. Oh. 100 and oh, Evan Star. See, this is one like I consider myself very, very lucky when it came to the trade paperbacks of Clan Building 1 and 2 and Bad Guys. I was at a comic book store with a bunch of friends, and of course this is back when it was I actually don't think it was being released. I think they had finished the run. I think I had found out when Bad Guys was being released, something like, but I found out not even through like an internet search and whatever, like, oh, this is a thing. I literally went to a comic shop. I knew the Marvel Gargoyles comics had been a thing. So we were just, you know, doing teenager stuff. And I looked through teenager, close enough. We were looking through, you know, the bins and everything, and I found out about the SLG ones right there. I'm like, oh, this is new. So I just grabbed up what I could, and then eventually I stumbled upon the trade paperbacks, and I grabbed them because they were still in print. I just managed to grab them. No, they weren't in print anymore. I remember because I went to a hobby shop, collector shop, and they're the type where they stock things that you can't usually find, and of course there's a markup. So I think for all 3 copies, I think I paid around $60. So like 20 per, give or take. But again, it was a recently out of print or just recently out of stock, that sort of thing. So it was just, again, pure bloody luck for me. Wow, mechanical engineering. And I'm helping you get through that? Dang, Diego. Just stroke my ego some more there. Like, jeez. Broadway and Angela should get married one day. Apparently there are plans for it to happen very, very soon, but who knows with Demona causing chaos. So again, I am also behind in the reading. I've only read up to Dark Ages. I have not read Quest, and I have not started reading Demona, so I actually have no idea what's going on currently. I should really catch up on Quest. At the very least, I need to catch up on Quest and wait while Demona, you know, gets released. To be fair, I'm working on a college assignment at the moment, so college assignments. What are you studying, Kobo? I kind of miss college. It was some of the best years of school. Anyway, I got incredibly lucky and found a copy of Bad Guys at a Goodwill for a couple bucks. Okay, who was the lunatic who donated Bad Guys? I mean, thank you. You spread the wealth, but how do you give that up? How? No, why? No. But I did buy them before the Kickstarter was happening. LOL, I would have waited. You know what? You have them. You have the original copies. For me, it was a thing of I have the OG copies. Do I really want to spend more money on getting the reprint? Granted, they might be bigger, so probably easier to read. I hate how tiny they are. But for me, it was like, look, I already have a copy. I'm not going to start doubling up on stuff when I already have it. And again, money isn't loosey-goosey, so it's like, you know what, I'll leave it alone, and I will wait for everyone to post their pictures of what they get, and I will live vicariously through them. Maybe the cat baby son's he is adorable. I can't wait to see what happens there. Okay, I'm glad you didn't say no, it's mustard color. I'm a dude, so my box of crayons only has the basic color, so no magenta, salmon, nor champagne. Okay, Eric, to be fair, and I've made this joke over the years constantly. It's like, yes, I'm a chick, whatever. I have such a dude brain, So when it comes to, oh, this, you know, this shade of this goes with this shade and this shade is called this and this, I'm like, it's just pink. It's just, this is, okay, yeah, I guess technically it's mustard colored. It's yellow. For unless it's a huge difference, okay, fine, I will call whatever color it is. But for most of the time, I'm like, it's just yellow. It's just pink. It's just purple. Oh, here's mauve. Just leave me alone. It's purple. It's a dark purple. That's how I work. By the way, congrats for your Lexington potato. I thought you would be showing him here in the stream. You know what? First of all, thank you, Diego. I was stressing a little bit on how to pull off Lexington, and I am glad I figured something out, because also while I was drawing, because I looked at the Kenner, you know, Lexington, to try and figure out how I was going to draw him, because then it was like, okay, yeah, the top of the wing, it's just going to be the same. And then I looked, I'm like, oh, his wings are actually attached to his legs. So again, I have, you know, but yeah, in case people didn't get to see my little potato Lexington, there he is. So yeah, no legs, no arms. They're just free floating wings. That is what it is. And see, he is busy hacking. This is what he does with the, you know, the old computer. That was fun. I'm like, oh wow, this brings back memories. There's childhood right there. I love my little potatoes. I am seriously tempted, and you guys, you know, tell me what you think. I am seriously tempted. There is a married couple here in town that does 3D printing. I don't know how exactly, if they're making their own files or they're kind of buying them from elsewhere. I don't know their skill level. But I am seriously tempted, once I finish potatoing everybody that I want a potato, to show them the designs, obviously, and ask them if they're able to do a 3D print of them, and like maybe like sell them to you guys or something, so you all can have your own little potatoes. I'm tempted, but it obviously, if it's a stupid idea, I won't do it. But that I might do it for myself, just so I have all my little potatoes. But yeah, that's. Oh, Kobo, not a tension headache. Oh, that's terrible. Does Tylenol or Advil or anything help? I hope. Like I've had those days where it's like you just fill up on painkillers and nothing takes the pain away. Nash is lucky to do time traveling with his folks. I think he likes the time traveling. Now that he's stuck in Manhattan, he's kind of like, I don't want to. What? No. Graphic design is what I am studying, working towards that at community college. Like graphic design, I've always been kind of like scared of it a little bit. So kudos to you. Aw, thank you, Eric. See, I can never read the message at the bottom of my screen. This kind of sucks. Let's see if... Whoop. Just screw up my whole screen. That's what I'll do. Where did I go? Yeah, I was trying to increase my little thing here. High five for the yellow shirt, and then I tip my imaginary hat. There, I finally managed to read it. The little message that pops up is like this small on my screen. I can't read it. And then I get another little window, but I can't scroll. It's fun. It's fun. That's the only reason I pitched in for the Kickstarter. It'll be nice to see the art in regular size. I was tempted, and then I looked at the price and I'm like, oh, this is an American. No, I can't. If it was in Canadian, whatever, I can kind of justify, but I have to not only pay an American, and then I essentially, the conversion is one thing, but then there's the bank fees on top of that to do the conversion for you. I'm like, no, I can't. I wish Gargoyles came alive in real life, but beggars can't be choosers. We live in the most boring reality, don't we, Kobo? It's this thing of like nothing cool happens. I mean, in the sense of, you know, we don't have like gargoyles coming to life. We don't have, you know, magic as a thing. Like, ugh. See, Potato Lex. I love him. I love him. Move over, Cowboy Bebop has computer meme. Lexington has literally entered the chat. Hey, if you guys want to meme my Lexington, he is posted everywhere. Facebook, Blue Sky, Twitter, he's everywhere. By all means, go meme. Oh, you're allergic to ibuprofen. You know what, Kobo? So am I. Not allergic, but it makes me horribly sick. So yeah, Tylenol is my friend. Tylenol is a big friend of mine. Yay, Simon, you made it. So glad. I think you could help yourself with an IA that translate pictures to 3D models to do 3D potatoes. That was all gibberish to me. I have no, like, when it comes to that stuff, it's like, give me my thing, I will draw it. Somebody else who knows what more than I do, because I know nothing when it comes to, I've become the old person yelling at clouds at this point. I'm like, technology has surpassed me. Keep going. I'm just going to sit back here and enjoy my little thing. My concept visualization instructor calls graphic design art with a job with a purpose. Yeah, pretty much. I also have like no art talent. I have no artistic skill. You guys have seen my potatoes. That's my artistic skill level. What is your favorite 80s horror movie? Mine is Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. You know what, the harder part is trying to recall any horror movies that I've ever watched. Okay, I've seen The Exorcist. I haven't even seen Nightmare on Elm Street. Any of them. I haven't watched any of I have hung out with a guy who played Michael Myers, and I haven't even watched any of those movies. I watched the oh my god, I've watched the Scream parodies. I haven't even watched any of the Scream movies. I don't know, the problem is, it's for me, it's a lot of those horror movies always seemed a little campy for me in a sense. It's, you can always see what's coming, so it bored me. The Exorcist, I think, was the first one that didn't. So it was, and I think somebody else got me to watch The Exorcist. It wasn't even a thing that I wanted to watch. It was, hey, yeah, we're watching The Exorcist. So I was there and I watched it, sort of thing. Literally, that's the only movie that comes to mind that's horror that I've watched. I suck, I guess. That's the only one that comes to mind. Did you see Transformers the last night? It was a horror movie for me. I did not, because it is the worst of horror movies. After number 3, I was done. I couldn't handle what they were doing to my beloved Transformers. It was just, no. Child's Play traumatized me. Definitely stopped asking for my buddy and kid sister. Oh, that was the other horror movie I watched. Oh my god, yes, thank you. Not Child's Play. And I am blanking on the name. Every time I remember that I have watched this movie, I forget that I have watched this movie. And then when I find out the title, it's like, oh, it's in this series of movies. And then I forget that too. But if anyone can remember the horror movie with the haunted clock, that's the only other one I've watched. And that's like one of, I know it was a haunted clock. That's all I remember. Somebody's going to remember what it is, hopefully. Horror movies that don't take themselves too seriously are the best. The ones that don't take themselves seriously on purpose are great. The ones that don't take themselves seriously, or like are trying to be serious and they go too serious, it just... Very much enjoyed Troll 2, which was horrifying in a different way. Do I want to know? Do I want to know? What is your favorite animated movie? Mine is The Secret of Nim. Oh, are we gonna get Desi C reacts to movies on a future channel? Well, considering YouTube and these companies are hard on the copyright, probably not. Favorite animated movie? Yay. See, that's a much bigger list. And as soon as I remember one, it's going to be another one, and I'm going to remember another one, and another one, and another one. I'm trying to think if there's a animated movie that I, keep going back to when I'm bored or, whatever. And honestly, probably one of my favorites is The Lion King. It's probably like, there's going to be, again, a bunch at number one because they all hit for different reasons. They hit for different things, whatever. But Lion King is probably going to be top animated movie for me. It's about time if you watch that. Bless you. It might be Amityville. Blech. Let's see. I'm gonna. If my Amityville. It's about time. Let's see if we're right. Let's see if my wonderful people here are right. It would help if it showed me more than just the cover. And yes, it is. Is it? Hold on, what's this screenshot from? Just to make sure. Yeah, it's about time. That's the one. That is definitely the one. In 1992, I watched that probably when I was, okay, so 1992, I would have been definitely too young at that age. But I probably watched that when I was like 12, give or take. Pokemon the first movie is my favorite. Have you seen the new Lilo and Stitch? I have not. I had passes to go see it before everybody else, and then I gave them up because it was the whole thing of, when I go to the movies, I want to be able to pick my seat and show up like 5 minutes before the movie starts, because it's the usual, here we're giving you free tickets, you have to line up and not everyone gets in and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that, because essentially that means lining up 2 hours before the movie starts. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. Somebody else take my tickets. I'll see it eventually when it comes to streaming, or I decide to sail the high seas. One or the other. Most of the Amityville, I can't pronounce that word. I haven't. Movies do not hold up. I need to rewatch It's About Time, because I literally have not seen it since I was young. I want to see how bad it is. I remember bits and pieces of it because I watched it at such a young age. The one movie that's horror that I absolutely love, because again, they didn't take themselves too seriously. Oh my god, I'm blanking on her. Hold on. Oh my gosh, Google, what are you doing to me? Let's see if I got the right title. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It does not take itself seriously. It is a hoot and a half. Death Becomes Her. Absolutely love that movie. That one, in my mind, it's a horror movie that does not take itself seriously. Love it. Since you are from Canada, have you seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World? I love that movie. The editing, the actors, the script, the editing, and yes, it's shot in Toronto. I think I was in and around Toronto when they were actually filming it. I have never watched it. I think the way my friends were selling it to me, it just did not seem appealing. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. It's one of those things on the list of one of these days I will get around to seeing it, because you hear opinions at a younger age and you take them on, and then as you get older, you're like, wait, why did I listen to this opinion? Why didn't I see it for myself? So slowly getting through the list. I know what you mean. I'm still bummed Disney Plus got rid of the throwback stream on their service. Also, Lilo and Stitch coming to Disney Plus this Wednesday. So if you guys have Disney Plus, y'all can start watching Lilo and Stitch. I didn't realize they got rid of the throwback stream. That kind of sucks. Although I think my access to Disney Plus went away before I even knew that existed. I don't know, but that would have been nice to see. Not worth watching the Lilo and Stitch remake. I didn't bother, but thank God they left Gantu out. He's better in 2D. See, if they're going to do these remakes, and I know why they're doing them, they're not, doing them for any good reasons. But if you're going to read the way they redid The Little Mermaid, the way they redid Cinderella. Those are the only two that come to mind where it's like, you guys understood like the story and you know, changed this little thing here and there, blah, blah, blah. But you got the whole point of the story. You understood that. And you did things properly. If they do that, by all means, keep remaking everything. I don't care. And then when I watched, which one was it? Mulan. I'm like, no, I'm going to stick to the animated one. I could not stand the live Mulan. There's a whole mess of political stuff with that one and governments and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into it. So that's the whole thing of, I don't mind when they leave out characters or whatever, because, oh, we're still keeping the theme of the story, but we're changing this and this and this. That's fine. It's just, do they hold true to the whole point of the story? Even Beauty and the Beast remake I wasn't too fond of, and Beauty and the Beast is one of my all-time favorites. I was obsessed with that as a child. I had a little Belle figure that I carried around with me everywhere, which I am trying to get my hands back on, but oh, if she isn't stupid expensive. My favorite horror movie is Dream Warriors. I saw it when I was 11 and was hooked. Dream Warrior sounds familiar. Never watched it. It was a big mistake that Disney canceled Gargoyles. You know what, James? I'm going to leave that one for a video, because I've noticed the clickbait articles that have been popping up in the past month of, you know, OJ is the reason why Gargoyles was canceled and this and that. It is never that simple. There is a whole bunch of stuff that happened that led up to the cancellation of Gargoyles. And at this point, I think it is more than reasonable that I, you know, kind of sit down. When I find the time and grab all the research that I can and actually do a video explaining how and why Gargoyles got canceled. Does it suck that it ended up being canceled? Yes, we all wished this was a thing that continued for years on end and that was still going, and I get it. But there's a whole thing behind it, so yeah, there'll be a video about it, and then after I post the video, we can again come to the live and we can go further in depth and everything, because I like to keep those videos short. I know 10 minutes sometimes is just, when you're just taking in information. I can't make them too fancy or anything, but yeah. My parents took me to the theater to see Death Becomes Her when I was 5. That's amazing. 5 years old. Yes, come watch these ladies fall down the stairs and their heads fall off. What? I've only seriously gotten into horror since July 2023. You know what? Start at any... This is why it's... I don't like gatekeeping. I'm not in the horror scene, so I don't know how good or bad it is there. But I'm in other fandoms, and the gatekeeping is so bad. It's like, oh yeah, I just entered, you know, I'm here to learn. And then there's so many people that are just like, no, you're a newbie, blah, blah, blah. It's, no, we're here to share the knowledge, share the wealth, blah, 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 blah. Scott Pilgrim is a stoner romance movie. It's great. I've seen bits and pieces. So it doesn't look awful. It's guaranteed not going to be 100% enjoyable, because again, it is for a certain demographic and I'm no longer in that demographic. But yeah, willing to give it a shot to see what the heck was up with it. See, I was not happy with Lilo and Stitch. They changed the story and the meaning of Ohana for me. See, that I've been hearing that a lot. I am going to watch it and see what the heck people are talking about. And because a lot of people know you're wrong. Yes, you're right, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not saying they screwed it up, because I haven't watched it. I don't know. Dream Warriors was the third Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Okay. Don't Google anything on it. Just go in as blindly as you can. We definitely have it with a moment guarantee. Good to know. It was parents complaining Gargoyles was too dark, I've heard, and Keith, Trichopedia, when it comes to parents complaining about, oh, this is too dark, this is too whatever, that was happening since day one of the show. No word of a lie. There were people within Disney coming up to Greg and saying, you know, this isn't what Disney does. You know, Gargoyles is not Disney. And first of all, he was, polite. Confrontation is not great. But, it's a thing of, if it's not Disney, then why is Disney making it? That sort of thing. And again, it is dark in the sense of it takes place at night, but it's not dark. Again, some parents are just oversensitive about certain things like this. I mean, look at the whole Harry Potter is witchcraft and teaching kids to be demon worshippers back when it was... there are certain groups of people that like to go crazy over certain things. So again, the complaints of Gargoyles being too dark was there since day one. And Disney didn't care. They, even within Disney, other employees, saying this isn't what Disney does, they didn't care. It was good story. It was doing well for them. So that was, again, not a reason why the show was canceled. Definitely not. Literally, it's close to 10 different things that affected why the cancellation happened. I promise I will. I'm not looking forward to the research I have to do for it, but I am willing to do it if it helps clear out any and all misconceptions that there are. And especially, I do not like the clickbait posts that I've seen on Facebook and on Instagram. Oh, O.J. Simpson was why I got canceled. There's literally this amount. What? What are you talking about? So I've even had friends go to me, it's like, how legit is this? And I'm literally just face palming every single time a friend came to me going, is this legit? I just face palmed. I'm like, I'm going to have my handprints, on my face permanently with the amount of times I've face palmed over seeing this thing shown to me. Ugh. My sister and I love watching horror movies. Evil Dead is a fun one, except the modern ones, they are true horror. Oh yeah, there was another one that I watched. I think it was a spoof on the 28 Days Later or whatever, or that was the spoof one, the zombie one, with that awesome comedian. I can't remember his name, but he had, my memory is awful. But yeah, that one, I think I watched that one, and that one was entertaining too. What you just said about gatekeeping, the goth subculture community is so accepting. Being goth is so unserious, which is why I am one. See, Kobo, it's certain groups... And it's funny, it's how the more demonized groups are the most accepting. So like when it comes to the goth community, it seems like, oh, they're a scary bunch. They do this, they do that. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of people who are just hanging out and just happen to like, they have their thing, but they're just the coolest bunch of people ever. I've heard the same for like the tattoo community. But yeah, certain groups that often are like demonized the most by society because, oh, you're not conforming to whatever, they tend to be the most open-minded and the most accepting and all that stuff. So there are also reports the episodes where she accidentally got shot. It was Disney considered too much. See, the thing is, they let it go. Where Lisa gets shot, with the blood on the floor and everything, they let it pass. Disney let it pass. It's not like these aren't, they have to go through inspection. That's why certain episodes they're either re-edited because of script or this or that, or because like, no, you can't show that. That was shown. It was okay. It was probably after, I think maybe it was possible that it changed the rating on the entire show. I don't remember. Again, I have to do my research. But I think it was more of a Disney just over being too sensitive about it. And so they just re-edited that out. But again, there's a whole shebang of stuff that actually got the show canceled, and people complaining was not one of them. I got my mom hooked on Gargoyles. She had a major crush on Xanatos, and Lex was her fave Gargoyle. That's amazing. I love that. I hate that, kind of like, some parents, they see that it's a cartoon and they just take no interest in it whatsoever because they just see, oh, it's cartoon, it's meant for kids. It's like, no, because you also have to remember this was written by adults who wanted to enjoy it, but some parents are like that. Some adults without kids are like that. It's like, oh, you still watch cartoons? Yes, because cartoons do not have an age limit, except for the adult cartoons. Then there's an age thing, yeah. Imagine if Gargoyles would debut today. Oh my god, talk about sensitivity. I don't know if it would be sensitivity. It's things get released and there's always going to be a group of people that complains. Literally everything that gets released. TV, book, movie, commercial. There will always be a group that complains about something about it. And the thing is, and I especially noticed it recently. I don't know if anyone's seen the Elf Cosmetics ad and the whatever jean company, American Eagle jean, like the controversy around those commercials and whatever. And I'm looking at it going, okay, people can be offended over what they want, whatever. I'm dead inside. Almost nothing bothers me. But the thing is, it's free advertising for them at the same time. There are companies that go, look, if we do this little thing, we are going to make this many people angry. And then they are going to go online and make Twitter posts, make Facebook posts, make YouTube videos. They are going to do all this stuff complaining about this. And it's free advertising for whatever it is they're selling. It happens every single time with everything. Some of them may not be as loud, you know, depending on which way it is, but there will always be a subsection of people that will complain, and companies don't care for the most part. It has to be a huge backlash for a company to go, oh, we went too far with this one. Now we know how far we can go. That's what happens. Because people to this day are complaining about Star Trek. It's like, you do realize it is following what Star Trek has always been. Nothing changed, but there's always going to be a group of people that's going to complain about it, saying this and that. And it's like, then don't watch it. That's it. Why we couldn't get Batman the animated series today. They would complain too much. O.J. Simpson's trial messed up a lot of shows. I lived in a time before streaming and DVRs, not trying to... don't worry, the only way I got to, you know, record shows was you put an empty tape in the VCR and you hit record as the show started. Or, you know, right before, so you got the very beginning, because the tape needed to those few seconds to start up. And you had to hook it right, you know, in the back, otherwise it wouldn't record. You know how many hockey games I taped with that method in the 2000s? DVRs were a thing when I still used VCR, and I still have those tapes somewhere. Conformity, never heard of her. To be cringe is to be free. I say, do it. Look, my whole theory is, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, do as you please. As long as no one else gets hurt. If there's other people involved, make sure there's consent, but otherwise do as you please. That's my whole thing. I don't care if people... I have gotten to the point where I don't care if people judge me for doing what, like, half the stuff I do. I'm like, I'm too old to care. Let me just do my thing. I enjoyed. That's what matters. Disney Adventures even had... cool, got me nice. By the way, I found out about your channel from YT recommending it for the content. I'm so glad to hear that YouTube is recommending me. I'm like, I'm this tiny little channel. Like, I hope YouTube is doing its job in promoting. So yay. Thank you, YouTube. The Cracker Barrel sign. Like, I don't even know what the whole... You change something, a group of people will get upset. And either they're going to be like, no, this is what we're going to keep. Or it's like, oh, look, you really liked our old logo, and go right back to it. No, I don't care. I really, it's free. It was free advertisement for Cracker Barrel because guaranteed there was a group of people that went, oh, this group of people is upset. I'm going to go to Cracker Barrel now. It happens every single time. Every time. My favorite NHL team is the Los Angeles Kings. Get out, James. Get out. No. I have no problem with the LA Kings. I've watched quite a few of their games because I was forced to, but no, I have no problem with the LA Kings. Or Sydney Sweeney. It's not like she wrote the commercial, but she got attacked for it. AE sales did go up, like you said. See? It's free market. And Eric, the funny thing, there were 2 versions of her commercial. I don't know if one was accidentally released or they released it and went, oh, we really don't like how it sounds. But she has vocal fry in one of the videos. For anyone who doesn't understand, like she lowers her voice. For those who don't understand what vocal fry is. So yeah, she lowered her voice in one of them and it just sounds stupid. It just sounds stupid. When I heard the other version, I'm like, oh, she sounds like a human being now. That was my issue with the bloody commercial. Take no BS and don't harm others. That's it. That's, you know how, if you, brains are stupid. Brains love, activity, obviously. And one of the best ways for brains to remember a thing is to get emotional about it. And unfortunately, one of the strongest emotions for the brain to remember something is anger. This has literally been studied. Anger is the best way that the brain, it's the strongest emotion that the brain will remember something. So, you know, you'll remember, you know, for instance, you know, the American Eagle commercial got you all upset, but you won't remember the new product that Dove came out because it was all positive. Rage fuels the brain and it keeps people essentially motivated. So again, we're not going to get into psychology here, but that's one reason why companies go down that route, because they know it's going to get them free advertising. I just got Demona 1 and 2 this week, and I really like it so far. Okay, Simon, first of all, yay. But also, you know, I didn't doubt that 1 and 2 was going to be bad or good, whatever. I didn't doubt that it wasn't going to be good. I just need the series to finish. Because, and again, sneak peek, did I mention this before? I don't even remember. I do want to do like a whole video on Demona and essentially a psychological deep dive into Demona. Not really a deep dive, because God, that'll take an hour. But I do want to do a video on her. But the thing is, with the Demona series currently going, I can't until they finish that series. Will other stuff pop up as the comics continue? Yes, of course. But considering the Demona series is focused on her and we're going to see more of her background and what things she did, it's like, okay, I will hold off on doing this and I will, you know, just sit patiently. And once that's done, I can start working on her video one of these days. Although, considering how slowly they're coming out. I don't follow hockey, but we have Admirals here. That is an NHL team, or that sounds local, Eric. Admirals are definitely not an NHL team. I like to see a Gargoyles Dynamite comic one-shot Valentine's Day special. That would be cool. I wonder if it would be hilarious if they put on the cover Goliath and Demona. Just for funsies. Because that's the sort of thing I would do. Oh, it's a Valentine's Day issue? We're going to put the two, you know, enemies because Valentine's Day. I remember stuff I like because I like it and it's sad, anger, fuel stuff. It's easy for me to have fun, so I remember stuff. There is happy, good memories do take a special place and whatever. But if you just, you know, notice, and it's a human thing, you will obviously remember the happy moments, the things that make you happy 100%. But if you sit back and think, it's like, oh, it's so much easier to remember the things that upset you or something that made you angry rather than all the happy stuff. The happy stuff will definitely be there 100%. It's just, it's easier to remember the stuff that made you angry. And that's why when with little kids, it's kind of like, oh, so-and-so, like with their parents, like, oh, they always make me so angry, and they don't remember all the good stuff type thing. Yeah. So when you finish Quest, we need a live discussion. 100%. 100. You know what? Because again, I have the whole kerfuffle with the novels currently going on. But actually what I'll probably do then, there's so many live discussions. Why don't we do it for next week? We'll do a Quest live discussion next week. I can read it the night before just to get get it in my head, and then I'll do a reread Saturday before the live stream, and we'll talk. I'll be able to make notes that make sense to me, hopefully, because I do shorthand, and then half an hour later I'm sitting there going, why the heck did I make this note? This is why I sucked in class taking notes. But yeah, we'll do Quest live discussion next week. You guys heard it here first. Which gargoyle am I gonna potato for that announcement? Which gargoyle am I gonna potato? MIA is a great season 2 episode, and one day I will go to England. Nice. Humans are strange creatures. The way I like to put it, Kobo, is we are living in the 21st century with like 5th century brains, essentially. Something like that. I did find a little golden book for $5.99 here in town. Now it's part of my collection. Yes, Eric. Fantastic. I will push that one hard. If anything, the comics, I like to push them because they are around the same price point, but you have to keep buying issues, you know, so it gets expensive. But the little golden book, it's a one shot. Buy it. Buy it. Save up for a month, 2 months. I don't care if $6 is something you don't currently have in your budget. Save up for a couple months and go buy it. It's a one shot. Just show Disney that it was popular. I am down for rereading and taking notes too. I have to. For some reason, reading comics doesn't stay in my brain as well as watching TV. Even reading novels. It would be TV is the best recollection, then comes novels, and then comes comics. I don't know why, and even TV, it's not that great, but for some reason, yeah. So I have to take notes. Haven't read Quest yet. I'm just beginning to get into the comics, but I'll be here for the discussion. Yes. Hopefully you don't mind spoilers. I will try to avoid them as much as possible, but it's a little bit more like, it's easy to avoid them, obviously, when I'm doing my reviews, but a live chat, there's only so much I can control. So, but yeah, I try to keep them spoiler-free-ish. Well, Logan, you have a whole week to read them. I gave myself homework. Now you have homework. This is how this works now. Lisa's not here to dole out homework, so I will be doling out the homework. Ooh, Hudson. Yeah, Hudson kind of makes sense for Quest, doesn't he? Seems as you see live stream exclusive. I like it. Yes, yes. See, this is why you should always come to the live streams. You're going to find stuff out that I don't say in my videos. Like, why would I? My videos are for information and enjoyment and just sitting back, and here it's giving myself homework. Spoilers don't bother me. I can still enjoy something even after someone tells me to us. Okay, good to know. For me, the upside is with my terrible memory, somebody tells me a spoiler and I'll forget it 5 minutes later. But I do try to avoid them, because even for a movie that I really, really want to watch, I avoid watching the trailers because they spoil so much. And like, I don't want to know what happens. I don't want to know anything. I just want to go in clean slate and just enjoy it. Because also at the same time, as we found out with Transformers 1, they market it one way, and it's an entirely different story when you actually watch it. So I don't even trust their marketing when it comes to the trailers. So I'm just going to let me watch and enjoy. Comic books is a great break from reality. Comic books, novels, novellas, literally anything is a great break from reality, as long as it doesn't involve reality. Heck, even watching, I will never stop shaking this. It's the handle from my chair that keeps hitting the desk. Literally, as long as even documentaries, because they add their own flair, their own little bit of drama, and all this stuff. It's like that's still a great break from reality. So I will, as long as it essentially doesn't involve news, I'm good. That's how I will do it. My favorite NFL teams are the Chargers, Giants, Jets, and more. Sorry, I'm Canadian. We do not do NFL here. We do CFL. We do CFL up here. Pouring out a bit of Coke Zero in honor of Transformers 1. I really gotta watch that thing again. It was such a good movie. And also to essentially tell Hasbro, it was a good movie. Keep doing this. Apparently there's a Masters of the Universe movie being made. Yep, set to release June 5th, 2026. Apparently this was delayed. It was supposed to come out in 2021. Wow, talk about a delay. The heck was going on out? Hey, yeah, we're going to delay this and delay and delay, and 5 years later they're finally getting around to it. Yeah, certain fans, they get the short end of the stick. Imagine being told, hey, yeah, we're making this movie, and then 5 years later, hey, now we finally have a release date. Like, ouch. Although, with Gargoyles, it's, hey, yeah, you're not going to hear anything from us for almost 30 years. Although SLG came out 10 years after the show went off air, so it's still 10 years. I think Gargoyles fans are made to wait the most, I think, at this point. We have it the hardest. At least Masters of the Universe, they keep coming up with something every few years. We got nothing. 4 years. The Stone of Destiny recently got attacked in Perth by a kilted Australian, and I keep wondering how that would play in universe. What? There's a lot of information right there in such a short paragraph. Oh my god. Somebody send that question to Greg. How would this play out? Because guaranteed he's not going to do anything with it, but at the same time, it's like, let it. Because remember, he's still back in like 1997 story-wise, so we wouldn't see, unless he wants to do a thing of, oh, this happened in real life, I'm just going to stick it, 30 years in the past. I don't know. I hope my Demona deep dive is good. There's so much, and my whole concern is, because I need to condense it. I don't like to make my videos too long, because there's sitting down sometimes for 20 minutes is a chore. Even for videos by other creators that I enjoy, it's like 20 minutes. Are you kidding? I just want to watch this thing and keep going. So I do like to keep them condensed. It's when condensing, making sure I'm getting all the proper information in there. I don't want to like skip on anything huge, and technically everything she's done is huge, because she 1,000 years of life, like what hasn't she affected? So I'm one day I will go to Canada to see everything. James, heads up, Canada is huge. For some reason, people have this idea that Canada can be like driven in a couple of days or something, or like a week. No. Just from, as an example, Toronto to Winnipeg. So Toronto, Ontario to Winnipeg, Manitoba. That takes a couple days to go through. About 4, if I remember correct, 4 or 5 days just to do that drive. So Canada is quite large. It takes a lot of time to go, and I haven't even seen even half the country. I want to see the Boreal Forest someday. God, I'm imagining a kilt-wearing Australian taking a sledgehammer to it. I'm just still not getting over the whole kilt-wearing Australian, of all things to, like, did he think he was in disguise and pretending to be Scottish? Were they themselves Scottish? I don't know. I'll go to Scotland one day and make friends with some gargoyles. That's how you do it. You're not far off, actually. Oh my god, no. Oh dear. Maybe so He-Man can bulk up on more steroids. That build is impossible. That's what guys want to see, unfortunately, Lord Akira. And it's going to sound, weird to say that, but the muscular men is a thing that most men enjoy seeing. this is kind of why the bodybuilding competitions and the, you know, that whole thing, Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do it. You know, seeing how big you can get your muscles and competing with other men to become more muscular. It's a man thing to want to see. Not saying women don't enjoy it, but it's very much a male thing to see that. That's why it's so prevalent in animation and stuff. Yeah, Canada is literally the second largest world, and the guys, we are. It's what is it? I can never remember who's first, Russia or probably China. Yeah, one of those two, and then Canada. So, guys, we're huge. It's like no word of a lie. I've done, granted, a day stop or two, depending on the city, but I did Calgary to Edmonton and back, going through the national forest here. And again, there were stops in between. For a day to maybe 3, but that alone took 2 weeks, give or take. Like if you just go Calgary to Edmonton straight drive, it's 3 hours, but to do, yeah, 2 weeks. So it's not small. I drove across part of Canada over a couple of days about 6 years ago. Alberta, Saskatchewan was boring. BC. I have done the Calgary to Winnipeg drive. Boring as heck, but if you've watched Walking Dead, I found Terminus. It is along the way. And then I also did Calgary to Victoria. That drive is beautiful. If you like driving and you like driving high speeds, first of all, I would say go find a proper racetrack to go do that. But I will also say that Canada has its own Autobahn in BC. It is not called that. There's nothing to that. That's what I call it, because there's a highway in BC that the speed limit is 120 kilometers per hour. Nobody, when I was driving, paid attention to that. So, and in those situations, it is safer to keep pace with traffic rather than try to stay on the speed limit. So when I sped up with traffic, I was doing 150 kilometers an hour. So what should have taken like an 11-hour drive took 9. Just FYI. Driving Canada sucks. Just it depends where, Simon. Depends where. The prairies sucks. It's boring. There is no getting over that. Yeah, Manitoba to essentially Calgary is, although at least between there you have Drumheller right before Calgary if you're going west. I will always recommend people stop in Drumheller, especially if you love dinosaurs. That's our little dinosaur capital there. It is amazing. The Royal Tyrrell Museum, I will always pimp that place out. I try and go there. Living out here, I've gone less than I would like, but 100% Royal Tyrrell Museum, 100%. Your kids love dinosaurs, you love dinosaurs. Drumheller. Everything is dino themed. And also go before we shut down our giant dinosaur. Apparently they're shutting it down or something. But yeah. Speed limits are just suggestions on our highways. Yeah, I've driven I've driven the 401. The only time you can really drive the 401 is like 4 o'clock in the morning. Speed rate, yeah, a little bit. But I will tell you, driving at 150 kilometers an hour and everyone is doing that speed limit, and like literally everyone, I was just keeping pace with everybody. You don't notice you're going 150 kilometers an hour until you start slowing down back to like 110, 100, and they're like, wow, this feels slow. Imagine going, you're 100 kilometers an hour and it feels slow. Although, of course, being in Calgary with the fantastic drivers we have here, 100 feels like 150 because speed limits are, people don't know how to read here, I swear. As long as you use your turning signal, there you go. You could be going 30 over the limit and people will still be passing you. Like, it really depends. Certain places it's you're doing the speed limit, it's still not fast enough. Other places you're doing 30 over the limit, you're still being passed. And other places it's you're doing the speed limit and you're passing everybody. Ugh. I used to love dinosaurs, but they keep showing our president on TV, so the interest is fading. Yes, absolute madness. Absolute madness, and I really want to do it again. In all honesty, I want to do it again. The only problem is, you know, BC isn't cheap, so getting out there, finding a place to stay, all that stuff, that's what stops me. So, because otherwise BC is literally, the border for BC is, I think, a 2-hour drive for me. It's right there. One day baseball will come back to Montreal. Fingers crossed. I would love it if the Expos came back. Oh, thirsty today. Thirsty. All right, wow, it's already, we've been at this for an hour 15. You guys have been crazy with the comments. I love it. This is great. What else? I lost my train of thought. There's no crying in baseball. Exactly. Hey, Dante. Welcome back. I did get to watch one of the wrestling videos that you mentioned from last week. It was awesome. I did. We're gonna talk wrestling again. I don't mind talking wrestling again, although given how little I can remember, no point. But yeah. Oh, my chair is so uncomfortable today. There's also a thunderstorm going on, so if this suddenly cuts out, sorry, it shouldn't, but I've been hearing the rumblings in the back. So it's a decently, we only get thunder for really big storms out here, so tag champ in the house, exactly. Had a fun panel with Greg Weissman at Fan Expo last weekend. Oh, Moran, you're killing me. You are killing me. Greg's fun at panels, though. He's very, very fun. I enjoy his sense of humor. It always, for some reason, still throws me off sometimes, but I highly enjoy his sense of humor. Although, when I'm face-to-face with him, my brain just doesn't click at the right time. So it's just like, I'm like, great, I sound like an idiot in front of Greg. Fantastic. Hey, Dante, crazy wrestling news with the Raha Jackson situation. What is going on there? What? Someone clue me in. What is happening? The Raha Jackson. Do I need Raha Jackson? What? Whoa. Oh. What's going on? Whoa. Okay, good. Oh dear. I'm not gonna. So I have a feeling certain words YouTube's not gonna like, so I won't mention them. But proceed with caution if I'm reading the right story. So I got the Uncanny X-Men 141 and 142, the Fast-Mail edition. It always reminds me of that Gargoyles episode, The Dark Future. Nice. Where it goes partially inspired by that storyline. Yeah, see, that's so many, and that's the greatest part about storytelling. People can say, you know, oh, this copied this or this copied that, unless they are literally taking something word for word or scene by scene. It's not copying, it's being inspired by. Are we going to start saying that Broadway's Disguise is a copy of The Thing's Disguise? No, it was inspired by. Like, so, and with Greg being in comics for so long before he started doing Gargoyles, it makes sense that we're going to see a lot of DC and Marvel inspirations in Gargoyles. That's why I did the videos on it. It's because he was doing this one thing and he's a comic book nerd and went, okay, here's my story. Oh yeah, but I really enjoyed this one thing that I saw in Flash number 27. Not saying, but just picking a random number and random character. I'm gonna take this little thing and, little Easter egg here in Gargoyles. Majority of the people probably won't, see it or understand it, but it'll make sense to what is still happening, that sort of thing. And I love that he does that. Absolutely love it. Yeah, see, not safe for this channel. So yeah, if you're gonna look that up, proceed with caution. It's not great. I will always give the warnings. I'm leaning because there is a cat trying to beg for my attention right now, but I cannot give her the attention that she is, going to soon beg me for. The worst thing she's going to try and do is probably jump up into my lap, and there's no room for her here. There is desk in the way. So if you see me suddenly like struggling or whatever, it's because it's her. Or she's just going to sleep behind me, one or the other. We'll see what she does. But I heard her pitter patter, and then this little gray blob showed up. If I can get her on screen, you will see why I call her a gray blob. Right now she's just investigating. Hey. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh my lord, I have to give the Manhattan Clan superhero costumes. That would be fun art challenge. Do it. Yes. I'm giving you homework, Kobo. I won't give you a deadline because the deadlines are what suck the most. But yeah, you have to do that. You have to give the Manhattan Clan superhero costumes. This needs to be seen. This needs to be a thing. You guys have got me talking so much this video. A little bit slightly more than last week, apparently, somehow. So yes, gotta keep hydrated on this one. I am definitely gonna have to do my usual, tea with honey for after this, so I don't lose my voice completely for tomorrow. Yes, Kobo. Yes. You know what? Here's your deadline. Have it done by Halloween. Whatever the day that, by my Halloween live stream. So that'll be because it'll be after Halloween. So November 1st would be a Saturday live stream. So yeah, don't rush. Obviously, you don't need to have them done by then. But it would be awesome if essentially for Halloween they would be done. Or at least one done by then. I don't know how long it takes for people to draw stuff. I like I said before, I don't draw. I have no artistic talent. My potatoes take me at most, depending on if I screwed something up or need to redo something, like 3 hours. They are not, details intensive or anything. So, but I just want to see it. I like seeing the work people do in this fandom. I love seeing the art they put out, the stories they put out, just all of it. Because when I was getting back into the fandom, there were people I know by their screen names like Canthara and Christine Morgan. That was her screen name. People like that who just enjoyed the show. So they drew, they wrote fan fiction. They just, enjoyed the fandom in this way, and they got so good at what they were doing, they eventually turned it into their careers. Christine Morgan has published novels. Canthara worked on Bad Guys. She is the artist on that one. So, and she works in animation now. So like there are just so many people who went from fan to pro. So I will technically push people that are in the fandom if they draw or write or whatever. I give them a little push to, yes, please keep doing this, because you never know where this skill is going to take you. The amount of people that cosplay, and they were doing it for fun, and now they work on TV shows, you know, making the costumes, you know, that sort of thing. So you never know where it could take you, so just develop those skills. Despite a crossover, major spoiler images have been released for, yeah, Fantastic Four Gargoyles book. Avoid if you haven't read Demona, solicits should have better warnings. Yeah, I did see the post. I think I retweeted it. I did not look at it myself because someone's like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. And I'm like, I'm not looking at it. There's already one image that kind of spoils. So I'm like, I'll retweet it for people who want to see it. But I am not looking at myself. I'm going to be blind to pretty much everything story-wise. Even certain images, I don't mind. It just depends on how spoilery they are. Like the first images that we saw for the crossover, they didn't give anything away. So it's like, okay, this is okay. This I can deal with. But anything else now that comes out, like, nope. I finished a Macbeth Demona battle picture in the time it took you to say that. The only thing is that they're stick figures with no facial details. See, that's still better than me, Logan. Stick figures? Really? You can accomplish stick figures? Dang. I live for the fan art in any form. And yeah, like certain art won't be my thing, but I will never disparage an artist from doing their thing. It's like, yeah, I probably won't buy it because it's not my style that I enjoy. But if it's something you enjoy, do it, because I am just simply not the crowd that you're trying to sell to, but there will be somebody else that's your people. Do what you do. Do not try to, again, make it palatable for everybody, because you will never please everybody. I have no art talent, so I'm the one to commission art. I've commissioned one every now and then. Commissioning is a thing I can't, you know, do too often because, hey, again, art is a very intensive skill. It takes a lot of work to get to certain levels, so I understand the prices behind them. I just can't afford them, that's all. But when I can, I do. So I've got a handful of commissions buried somewhere. But yeah, over time, it's just gotten harder and harder because what I want to commission is, oh, it costs, you know, this much because, you know, I want this, and it adds up. They deserve those sometimes I look at the prices and go, you're not charging enough. But yeah. Zero art talent here as well, so I write instead. I've dabbled in writing here and there, but nothing, yeah. I've always been artistically inclined, been drawing since I was a toddler, at least the age of 5. See, I always did the regular drawing as a kid, but I never drew, you know, that sort of thing, if I'm making sense. I liked designing and drawing and whatever, but I never did it enough to hone my skills. Whether I will try now or not, that's a whole other thing. Literary. I'm forgetting how to speak now. Literary arts are such a wonderful thing. Art in general is such a wonderful thing. This is why I get angry when, you know, any funding for any arts are, you know, taken away, because music, writing, picture art, whatever, just art in general. I do not like when funding is taken away, because art develops the brain so much, especially music. But it works other parts of the brain that you usually don't use. It is good for children to have the arts. I'm not saying take away math and arithmetic and all that stuff. They need that too. But art is so important to a developing brain. So important. Oh my gosh. You guys are going to take my voice away. No. See, vocal fry. That's what that was. I have a cat somewhere behind me. I can hear her. I don't know if the mic is picking her up. But yeah, she's somewhere behind me. I think she's literally right behind the chair. Okay. Ooh, guys, we got half an hour left. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? Half an hour. Let's see how many, I don't know, what topics or whatever. Let's see how much we can get through in the next in the next half hour. Oh. Yeah, literally, right behind me. I have a blanket that I use to cover my shelf so that no sun, there's a window, and just to make sure no sunlight hits any of this, because, you know, there's stuff here from the 90s I don't want ruined. So there's a blanket that I have on that I use to cover it. And that's where she's sleeping right now. The story behind how I started improving my art 5 years ago is quite interesting and maybe a bit funny. If you are in the mood to tell it, Kobo, by all means. That would be interesting to hear. I've been an artist for over 30 years and still learning something every day. Just sold a bunch of commissions to fund my new comic book. Congrats, Dante. See, that's the thing. At least in my point of view, art is a thing you never stop learning. There's always going to be a new technique, a new thing, whether it's, again, drawing, writing, playing an instrument. There's always going to be something else that you can still learn. If you think you're at the top of your game, guaranteed, first of all, there's somebody better, and you should never stop learning. There's a whole, my mind, you never stop learning. It doesn't count as a commission because I bought it at a convention, but I have an awesome poster of the TMNT cosplaying as horror characters. That's awesome. Damn, it's getting late for you. Oh, I heard a little. Yeah, see, she's somewhere. Like I said, she's right behind there, but she's going to start need cat cam for the live stream. I am tempted to get a separate webcam so that if they are in the general vicinity, I can turn that on and you guys can kind of watch them in the corner. I don't mind doing that, actually, but usually they're sleeping elsewhere. It's actually very strange for her to be behind me right now. Usually she's just elsewhere sleeping. I'm surprised, actually, she's not bothering me for food. It is feeding time, but currently she's just like, no, I'll just, you know, sit here and sulk and make you feel bad for not feeding me. My cat's name is Carrie from the movie Carrie 1976. I used to have a kitten that I named Cujo. He was an absolute terror. He was delightful, and so I named him Cujo. He was so cute. I loved him. His adorable, just little tuxedo kitten. Unfortunately, I lived in the middle of nowhere, and he was very much an outside cat. I got very used to outside cats not getting attached. Such is life. She's still... Yeah, no, she's pretending to sleep right now. She's definitely not asleep. She's just laying down, half a loaf. She'll be like, you know I want food. You know I do. And I'm going to sit here and make you feel bad about it until you actually feed me. All right, so in 8th grade, I found a Post-it on the floor. It was face down, and when I picked it up, it had a little colored doodle of Harley and the Joker as anthro dogs. Oh my God. That just in itself is really cool. And while you're typing, Kobo, this one time at one of my jobs, I had to be a vendor at Fan Expo, and my booth we were combined with the Warner Brothers booth. And so I was talking to a lot of their people at the time, and there was one guy there who he was doing it for the Warner Brothers people, and then he eventually did one for me. But he was taking like scraps of paper where he could find them and just doodling, you know, like little pictures somewhere. I still have he drew a scorpion and by scorpion I mean not the animal video game character somewhere. I hope I still have it, because it was a really, he did in like literally a minute. He was just finding scraps of paper and just quickly doodling them and just giving them to, you know, anyone who would see him doing it. So it was really cool. Don't remember his name. I knew him for like that weekend, and that was it. Last time I watched MTV, they actually played music videos. I didn't even have MTV. What are y'all talking about? What is this MTV? Joking. I saw shapes underneath to form the bodies, and that's how I learned one of the most important parts of sketching, and I've been improving since then. Really proud of where my art style is now. I've always heard about how the shapes are there, like, and I've seen, because I have a couple commissions where it's the line art and whatever, and it doesn't matter that the certain shapes are still there underneath after they do their thing. And I've seen the shapes, and my whole thing is I don't mind doing the shapes and whatever. It's just my brain tries to figure out, okay, what size does this shape need to be, and this size and this shape needs to be this size. Like, how do you figure that out? And again, you still need to conform it to the anatomy of the body to make sure it makes sense. And guaranteed, if I sat down and actually looked through like an art book, I would understand it. But just looking at it and not knowing the mechanics behind it, my brain just goes, nope, this is too much. Nope, it just nopes on out. Oh, bye, Matt. Lovely to have you. I was curious about the PS4 Gargoyles game on the background of your video. It looks awesome. Yeah, it's sitting there looking pretty. I've played the Sega version. I have yet to play that one because I suck at getting my priorities straight when it comes to what I need to do when. One of these days I will get to it. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I hope to actually play it through before I reach the 1 year anniversary of this channel. That's my goal. I know I'm only giving myself a month. I'm probably going to screw myself, but yeah, that's the goal currently right now. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. That was... I hate that I forgot the words Mortal Kombat. Considering I watched that movie. It's an updated version of the Sega Genesis game from back when, updated graphics and a few other tweaks. Yeah, I've seen the pictures of the enhancements that they've done to this game. I just haven't played it. I know, I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible fan. What are you gonna do? You guys are draining me this time. Absolutely draining my voice. Ooh, okay. We got 20 minutes. Let's do this. 20 minutes. And maybe at the end I'll grab my cat and show her off to y'all. We'll see. She is snoring behind me. Lisa, you made it. Hi. I was wondering where you were, but then I probably figured, you know, life, family, stuff, whatever. But at the same time, the kids should not be up at this hour. Yeah, see, like, soon. We're all kind of, you know, fading out. It's getting late. Me, not so much. It's only 7:37 here. But yeah, I demand cat. She's there. She's doing her little snore that she does as, you know, she snores and then she falls asleep. She's a little weirdo. Toddlers. Yeah, see, toddlers. That's why I don't have kids. Love kids, just no. You're starting to sound like deep voice Sydney. I could go lower. I could if I can remember any of the lines from her commercial, I would happily try to copy it, but currently right now, nothing's coming to my mind. It's because the script was so stupid. That's the thing, the script was stupid, and so trying to recall something stupid usually doesn't work for me. When does Demona 3 drop? I had the date. And I forgot. Considering the cutoff for ordering was, I believe, last week? Or something like that, or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. So hopefully, I think mid or late September? Something like that. I don't if I don't write it down, if I don't write a date down, I will never remember. See you next Wednesday. I was completely off. See, I'm a bad September 10th. See, there you go. Now there we have fans helping other fans out because yeah, unless I have it written down, I ain't gonna remember. This is like, oh yeah, let's do a live stream of Quest. I gotta write everything down before I talk about it because I'm gonna forget so much. So much. I mean, you've seen me forget words. So it's not out of the question that I would forget plot lines. Oh, I gotta change my chair or something. Yeah, she's getting comfortable. She's getting very comfortable. Which music artists or bands would you recommend from Canada? We have a lot. We have a lot of good ones. Okay, I know I have a couple Canadians in here, so help me out with that, because I'm also really bad with names too. I know she's doing newer stuff, but I've enjoyed Avril Lavigne's music in the past. Yeah, with all the delays, I stopped paying attention to the dates. Yeah, there you go. But who else? Let's see, Canadian bands, singers, whatever. Like, who else? We have so many. Well, you can't really, not recommend Celine Dion. She's probably one of the most well-known ones. Who else? My goodness. There's too many, that's the problem. Oh yeah, I forgot Snow was Canadian. Jeez. It also depends what type of music you like. Like, Bare Naked Ladies had a lot of good stuff. Some 41. Oh, there's too many. Oh, Nelly Furtado, she was a great. Yeah, there's. Depends on what type of music you like. Is that Demona to your left middle shelf, the Kenner? Yes, it is. That is Kenner Demona. Doop, right there. She is hiding out there with Goliath, and there is Xanatos. He's hiding right around there. Tragically Hip, thank you. The Who, or was it the Guess Who? I always confuse which one's the Canadian one and which one's the American one. Our Lady Peace, Big Wreck. Nobody say Nickelback. That was, unfortunately, Logan, that was literally the first one to pop to my head, and I was like, no, we're not mentioning Nickelback. Rush is cool. Yeah, see there, we all forgot about Snow. Some people, yeah, is it the Guess Who or the Who that are Canadian? Like, oh, this is gonna bother me. And oh, Bryan Adams. Oh, Shawn Mendes. Yeah, the Guess Who are Canadian. There we go. Yeah, there's the Who, and then there's the Guess Who. The Guess Who is ours. Thank you, Lisa. But yeah, Lenny Kravitz. Oh, he's amazing. We have so, and the funny thing is, and I learned this as I met Canadian or Americans over the years, is so we have our Canadian singers, bands, whatever. And then when you ask an American, oh, have you heard this song? It's really big right now. And they're like, who are you talking about? And it's like, wow, thanks to CanCon, we get to hear our Canadian, born musicians. But in the American market, unless they make it huge, they don't even hear about them. And it's really weird, and it's kind of sad. It's like, but this artist is so big and so well known, but it's a country specific person essentially. Even though they'll do world tours type thing, it's literally just like the Americans are like, who is this? Shania there's no N at the end of Shania, but yeah. Helix is a heavy metal band from Canada. Alanis Morissette, thank you. Helix, yeah, because I'm not into heavy metal, I've never heard of them, but yeah, it's very. What are some Canadian bands? Well, here's the list of like 300. How do we narrow this down for you? That's usually how it happens. Oh, there's one band. I love them. It's ska music, but they were really fun to listen to. Let's see if I can, because I'm really bad with names, but If I can remember, if I can find. Probably not, because there's just... How dare. Okay, apparently to Wiki we have like 10, which I know is not a thing. Yeah, well. Maybe one of... It is what it is, right? Oh, wait, See, my brain, I 100 cannot do these while I don't have food in me to fuel my brain, because I'm like, oh wait, I can just open up my iTunes and I can look them up. So I kind of feel really stupid right now. Let's see. Okay, no, these guys, I'm pretty sure Bowling for Soup is American, but I still recommend them. Breaking Benjamin, I think might be, I don't know, half the time I don't even know what country they're from. But let's see where my ska band is. Because I actually enjoy it. It's fun. I've never listened to anything else from them, but I have one disc from them. And it's a fun little thing. I have one song that I absolutely love from them. Where is their thing? Oh my gosh. I have way too many songs on my iTunes. Oh, Julie Black is another fantastic Canadian artist. I highly recommend her. I swear, if I don't find this group by just flipping through this, I'm going to be mad at myself. Michael Bublé is another good one. Guys, I'm at the end of my list and I still haven't found them. Either I'm going through my list too fast or I Oh, if you want something entertaining, 3 Dead Trolls in a Baggie. They have some very fun stuff. NSYNC #1, yes, Evan. Yes. Can we talk about Gargoyles lore? Samurai, I am up for talking Gargoyles lore, but heads up, we got like 10 minutes left. So I am all that. Oh, bye, Kobo. Sorry I missed that, but bye. I know several others you named already, but I'm going to check the ones I don't know about. Colin Mockery is a great Canadian. Blue Rodeo, yes. They're another great, that's another great band. I'm just really trying to find this one group that I listen to their stuff a lot. And okay, let's see if by putting the genre, because it should have kept it. It did not. It didn't list it as ska. I'm so mad at my iTunes right now. So mad. And I'm also mad at myself because somehow I missed this and I can't. It is what it is, right? Like, I can't believe I went through my entire list and I somehow missed their name. Am I this stupid? Cheap Suits, here we go. I went right by it. Cheap Suits. I recommend them as well. How long does it take a gargoyle egg to hatch? 10 years. 10 years. I know, a long time, but at least they don't have to carry the egg for 10 years. I'll at least say that. Does he make movies, do you know? I actually don't know if Colin makes movies. I know he's in movies, or at least other TV shows, but I don't know if he makes movies. All right, lightning round. We got less than 10 minutes. Let's do this. Lightning round, questions, whatever, and I will try and keep them short and sweet. It'd be better if they are gargoyle specific, but yes, let's just bang it all out. Let's do this. Spirit of the West, yes. See, I'm judging myself for forgetting Spirit of the West. Oh, Great Big Sea. Great Big Sea. Spirit of the West, Great Big Sea. Those bands cannot be ignored. Top 2, 100%. Thank you, Lisa. Ooh, okay. Table shake. And that wasn't even from the chair, that was from my foot. Oh, she's fallen asleep. So as much as I want to show you guys, you know, she's actually fallen asleep. We will leave her to her sweet little dreams. Look at you with the gargoyle info, dishing it out with a quickness. Certain things, because I've known them for quite a while, those are things that I just never left my brain. Do you like the angry video game nerd? I think I've heard of him. I don't think I've actually watched any of his stuff. Which time period location would you most like to see Brooklyn's visit? Oh my god. No, there's Logan, no. Obviously I want to see him in ancient Japan. I want to see him in ancient Egypt. I want to see him in Roman times. I want to see him in the ancient Greek times. I wanted there's just Logan, I said quick questions. I want to see him there for the destruction of Pompeii. I want to see him for the burning of Alexandria, the Library of Alexandria. I want to see him there for the building of the Pyramid of Khufu. Like, no, there's too much. I said, oh no, Diego, don't worry about it. Like, we share the knowledge here. How much do we know about Renard and Vogel's past? I don't think we've been shown a lot. I think it's literally what's been shown in the comics and the TV show. I think that's is that poster Lexington to the left of you? No, that is, we have Goliath up here, and here is Demona, Goliath, and Macbeth. I gotta get them framed. The only reason they're just stuck to the wall is because I just haven't bought frames for them yet. Oh yes, Nordic Gargoyles. Yes. I would love something. Yes, thank you for the Nordic Gargoyles. I want to see Brooklyn during Ragnarok, because it does happen in the Gargoyles universe. But I want to see what exactly happens. I would love to have that happen, or to be seen. It was cool that Brooklyn and Mate was in World War II. Yeah, I want to see him during World War II if that happened. I want it, like, there's so much. That's your favorite gargoyle, right, Brooklyn? I mean, on the last post, yeah, yes, Brooklyn is my favorite. Lifelong, I like them all. Brooklyn was always my favorite, especially as a kid. Sorry, just trying to keep you here longer. How dare you? Because there's something Renard says that I wouldn't want an answer to. Greg never answered. Evanstar, what was the question? At least I want to see it. I like that Halloween season 2 episode of Gargoyles. Victorian England. I'm trying to see, the thing is, I'm trying to remember my Assassin's Creed games, because they're all historic times. I'm going, oh wait, because this actually happened. Is this a thing that would be cool for Brooklyn to have visited in his time dancing? So anything with ancient China. There's just bring him back to the time of the dinosaurs. I know there's not a lot that can happen there, but maybe he squished the wrong dinosaur and that's what caused the meteor to hit. I don't know, but I just want to see the butterfly effect essentially happen. Like, I want to see so much. I'm a little bit of a history geek, not a lot, because there's, again, so much history, but there's so many things. It's like, oh, this is so cool. History is fun if it's taught properly. I hate how many times history isn't taught properly, because it is actually just, I get it, certain things that happen are boring as heck, but the events themselves can be so exciting. How fast do gargoyles age? Not like human. No, correct, Eric. They age at half the rate, because they are technically only alive for half the day. And by that, because they don't age while they are in stone. Oh, thank you, James. I appreciate that. Always nice to hear that. All right, we got like 5 minutes. Let's do this. Keep going. 5 more minutes. I don't want to do drum roll. I just realized I don't want to do drum roll. I'm trying to look up the exact line, but it's what he says, what Vogel is to him to Xanatos' dad. Oh, I don't remember that. I'm trying, but it's what he says, what Vogel is to him to Xanatos. I can't remember the line. I'm gonna have to look that up too. Because yeah, I don't recall that. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely, yeah, don't rush for it for today. Like I said, there's less than 5 minutes left. But for next week, yeah, write it down. And yeah, we'll go through it next week. Along with the quest discussion. Because guaranteed we can use the whole 2 hours to talk about quest. I expect us to use up the 2 hours to talk about quest, because there's what, 5, 6 issues? 5. Alrighty. Almost there. She's still... she's slightly woken up, but I don't think she wants to be picked up. So no, I'm sorry, Lisa, but no cat on the screen today unless she gets up. No cat on this one. I mean, y'all got to see Kuma 2 weeks ago. You can go look at his black belly. You can do that in the meantime. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Any more? I'm gonna take another drink. I'm dying. Una from yes, I adore Una. I hope we get to see more of her too. I know different clan, different continent, but he calls him odd to comp. I know, Lisa, I know. Do you collect those Disney Adventures books back in the days? I did not, mostly because they seem to just be in the States, probably, more than likely. I don't know if they were ever in Canada. Usually that stuff never made it up here. But no, I've been trying to collect them like now-ish, but I've seen the prices and I just kind of gave up. There are people who want like $200 an issue, and I'm not dealing with that. I guess if cat is asleep, yeah, I see. Let sleeping cats lie. That's how it works. I want to bother her, but she doesn't fight back, but man, can she squirm. She squirms really well. Do a video on Gargoyles lost media. To be fair, James, there's not a lot of lost media. A lot of my videos, most of my videos, the research is there because somebody managed to hold on to everything. So as an example, the Disney Adventures books, somebody has uploaded the comics that came out of that. And that's how I was able to do my canon video on that. The only lost media that I can think about would be whatever Greg has shown at the gatherings, and that stuff that was never recorded. That's his own thing. So it was nowhere for anyone to record and then upload it unless they had a video camera running at the time. That's how I managed to get not the footage. Somebody else posted the footage, but the first trailer for Gargoyles, somebody had the sound effects because, oh, we can't film this, but somebody else put up the trailer. So like that's the only lost media. Stuff that Greg's shown at gatherings is technically lost media, but it's always been mentioned what was said at the gatherings. There's very little that's lost. Which means military officer acting as a confidential assistant. So did they serve together? Was Vogel the military? Ooh, interesting. I had to beg my parents to let me go get them. See, like, it was one of those things of if you saw it, you got it. Living in the boonies, half the stuff never made it to my neck of the woods. Do you know that the Easter Island representation is not too much accurate like other locations in Gargoyles? Sorry, do you know that the Easter Island representation is not too much accurate? So I'm either misreading or something. It's probably my brain. Just I bought Disney Adventures in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, see, then it was just my neck of the woods. Because if I had seen Gargoyles on something, I would have picked it up. Or it was essentially sold out before I got to it. That sort of thing. In Royal Tech Billionaire Royal Battle, who wins? Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne, Lex Luthor, or Xanatos? I'm going to have to go with Xanatos. Bruce Wayne is a good guy, so is Tony Stark. So, like, they'll do stuff, but they have their limits. Lex Luthor, you know, is... Between Lex Luthor and Xanatos, I would say Xanatos is the smarter one. Like, Lex Luthor knows how to take down Superman and yet fails every single time. I don't... Well, you know what, James? We all have to go now because it is officially, well, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 o'clock for me. We have hit the 2 hours. We are done for the night. So any questions that either I didn't understand, sorry, Diego, or, you know, you didn't get to ask, there's always next week. Same YouTube link, same time. We're going to do this every week. Blah, 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 all that stuff. So yes, everyone have a good long weekend. Sorry for the kids. Y'all start school in a couple days. I don't envy you all. And so yeah, with that, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to one another. Have a good night. Be the good that you want to see in the world. And I will see you all next week. So until then, bye guys.